Good day, subscribers. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am Jeremy. This is the Financial Education Channel, and today we're talking about Stock Market Weekly Recap number 23 ever in history, guys. We are recapping the June 23rd, 2017 week. We're going to look at some of the biggest news stories that came out this week, look at how the markets did, some stocks that went up and down the most, and what we have going on next week, and we have a few big earnings next week, guys. So, first video, post 50,000 subscribers. A 50,000 subscriber special video is actually coming out tomorrow on Sunday, guys, so I hope you enjoy that. And let's get right into this. So, first off, the Dow Jones went basically nowhere this week. It went up 0.05%, so almost an unchanged week for the Dow. The NASDAQ went up, a very nice week for the NASDAQ, up 1.84%. NASDAQ, every time you think it's going to fall, it just comes back so strong the next week. S&P 500 up 0.21% this week. So, you know, pretty even week in the S&P and the Dow, but the NASDAQ just tore it up once again, guys. So, absolutely incredible there. Let's look at some of these stocks that went up and down the most. Vivint Solar. I think this is 2 weeks in a row that Vivint Solar was on here. I know a solar company was on it last week. I think it was Vivint. So, they went up over 42% this week. This stock is up over 123% year to date. We're only halfway through the year and it's up 123%. Ridiculous. Lazy Boy was up over 19% this week. The furniture company had a very nice week. Pandora bounced back this week with a very nice week, up over 18%. This stock had been had reached its all-time low, not even 52-week low. It reached its all-time low last week, but it bounced back with a nice week this week. Winnebago Industries, a straight retiree type play right there. This one went up almost 19% this week, 18.83% to be exact. We had Weight Watchers, which is probably the stock that has made this list more times than any stock ever in history. This stock went up over 16% this week. This is up 190% year to date. 190%. Are you freaking kidding me? That's insane, guys. Absolutely insane. We're halfway through the year and it's up 190%. RH Restoration Hardware, this stock is absolutely dominant. This is one I sold way too soon. This one's up over 13%. Remember, the stock used to be on 3 stocks I was buying quite a while. It was like the third stock, you know, it was always GoPro and Win, and then RH was in there for quite a few months. I got out of this one way too soon. Look at it year to date, up over 93%. Unbelievable. Oracle had a nice week this week, up over 13%. This company is one of the very few huge companies I've never looked into. I don't even understand Oracle's business. I've never really looked into it. I'm gonna have to look into it eventually. US Steel had a nice week this week, up over 10%. The steel, you know, companies out there have been destroyed this year, but you know, now they're bouncing back. Twitter had a nice week. It was up almost 11% this week, and that caps off the good stocks. Now, on the bad side, unfortunately, energy. I mean, I didn't even, it was like 30, 40 different energy related companies were down 10 to 20%. So I didn't want to take screenshots of all those. It would have been an absolute epic, ridiculous amount. But energy's just been killed. We'll look at energy in just a minute. Tailored Brands, this one had another tough week, down over 11%. And the stock is down over 60% year to date. Absolutely a disaster. It's a suit company. We had Burlington Stores was down over 10% this week. We had Vitamin Shop down almost 10% this week, and that caps off what stocks went up and down the most. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Now let's look at some of the biggest news stories that happened this week. Oil prices. So oil prices is the first thing that caught my attention. Oil prices ended higher on Friday, but suffered a weekly loss for the 5th time in a row. The longest run in weekly declines since 2015, guys. Oil prices now below $45. And if you have tracked oil historically, right? Summertime is generally a very good time for oil prices. Like, summertime is usually when oil prices go up, energy prices go up. Not the case this year, and this is a reason I cannot get behind any energy company, because where's oil prices going? Where are oil prices going? They kind of balanced out there, and now they're you know, crashing again. And I can't get behind any energy related company that's anything oil related, because look at the prices, guys, and who knows if this is going to get worse or anything like that. So this is a reason I can't run out there and own Chevron or Exxon or Chesapeake Energy or pretty much any energy company out there, guys, just because how am I going to be convinced that oil prices are going to rise anytime soon? Because guess what happens? Every time oil prices rise, greedy Americans, all the, Americans out there that have any type of money that they can get to, they start an oil company and they start drilling, or they start ramping up production, because if oil's above $60 a barrel, even if it's above really 55, that's a profitable business in the United States of America. So anytime that happens, we start drilling like crazy. Anybody that has, the potential to get out there and get an oil well, they will get it and they'll start drilling. And then you have the Middle East, which is still very heavily reliant on the oil industry. So they have to keep their production up. Otherwise, they're not going to be able to pay their bills, because a lot of those countries are run off of oil still. So it's just a mess, guys, and there's a reason I cannot get behind any energy companies out there, because the supply and the demand, it's just way too much supply and not enough demand, in my opinion. Even though demand's pretty good because we have a good economy, it's just every time, prices rise, the supply goes up, and then they got to come back down, guys. It's just a mess right now. Chipotle caught my attention this week. Chipotle shares tank after company admits it will need to spend more to woo customers. Chipotle warned investors that it plans to spending more on marketing and promotions to win back customers. The company said it expects same-store sales to still be in the high single digits. So Chipotle here, this was a Wall Street darling. This was a stock that could do no wrong. Then they had the E. coli situation, everything that just screwed everything up for Chipotle. Stock went from a $700+ stock to, high 300s in literally a matter of less than a year. And we see Chipotle still having trouble to get that big growth back, which the company still trades at a high valuation for a food-related company, guys. So we have to see what happens with Chipotle over the longer term. I can't jump in the stock right now, even though I love the company, I love the vision and whatnot. I can't jump in that company because it still is a high valuation at the end of the day. And it's funny, I was just watching, I think it was the NBA Finals, and I saw a Chipotle commercial. I was like, what is this? I have a Chipotle commercial on TV? This is crazy, guys. So we'll see. It's definitely a company I keep track of. I keep it always on my stock tracker list, and just to see if I ever want to dabble in it. Next story up that caught my attention was the Uber CEO basically got kind of removed from his company. Uber needs a new CEO after its founder CEO Travis, I don't know how to pronounce his name, Kalanick, was removed yesterday as a request of 25% of the Uber shareholders. So this is an interesting story. One, because Uber has been talked about maybe going public, next year or whatever. This is a company with over a $50 billion valuation, over $50 billion valuation as of right now. And this is one of the most highly desired positions out there. I mean, just about anybody who's anybody wants to take this position at Uber, because this is like a once in a lifetime type chance, guys. I mean, companies with $50+ billion valuations don't just the CEO spots don't just open up very often, guys. This is huge. So whoever they get in there is probably going to be a huge name person. They might take a top person from a Facebook or from an Apple or Microsoft or Google or somewhere like that, because guess what? They're going to have a ton of people that want that job over there at Uber, guys. So very interesting to see if one of the big public companies loses a very important person, or just see who fills that job in general, guys. Very interesting. Next story that caught my attention this week: Facebook's Instagram stories crushes. Look at that word choice there. Crushes Snapchat with 250 million daily active users. Its main competition, Snap, just has 166 million daily active users at its last earnings report in May. So first off, before I get into these reporting methods, it amazes me the word choice, these publications use. A lot of people want to see Snapchat lose. Like a lot of these publications, and this always happens with the new guy on the block. People want to see the new guy on the block go down, and I don't know why it is. Like sometimes they want to see him succeed, but most of the time they want to see him fail when it comes to public companies. I don't know why this is, but it happened to Facebook. Facebook went through this exact same thing. A lot of people that are probably watching this, you might not have been following stocks back then. A lot of people wanted Facebook to fail. They did. Like a lot of people, they're not going to be anything, oh, that's so lame. A bunch of 12-year-olds, looking at Facebook or whatever. Like these are the kind of things people said that, it's the same stuff people are saying about Snapchat now. Facebook's a joke, blah, blah, blah. They're going to go down, this and that. Like people just don't take it serious, and you just see it in the word choice. Facebook, Instagram stories crushes Snapchat, and that's not the only publication that puts it that way. I think I did a whole video about this in the past. But anyway, so the 250 million daily active user number that Instagram just threw out there, It's a total different method of calculating numbers than Snapchat uses. What Snapchat uses is it takes over the course of an entire quarter, it takes how many people on average used the service daily, okay? This Instagram was basically 250 million people used it on a specific day. They just happen to hit that number. That doesn't mean 250 million people are daily active users using Instagram stories. That does not mean that. That just means they happen to hit it one day. It's like me saying, an average video on my YouTube channel, right, gets around, I would say around 4,000, maybe a little over 4,000 views within the first 48 hours. But last week I had a video that came out that did 10,000 views in the first 48 hours. Ridiculous. Okay. So I could say, oh, we get 10,000 views per 48 hours now, but that's simply not true. We happen to hit that one time. Doesn't mean it's going to keep happening. No, because most of our videos get about 4,000 views or maybe 5,000 within the first 48 hours. So we happen to hit 10,000 that one day. Doesn't mean we're going to keep hitting 10,000, guys. So very much different reporting methods. Now, does that mean, I would still say if Instagram's winning, I would still say Instagram's probably got, I would say 200 plus million, maybe 220, daily active users, but that doesn't mean Snapchat's still not succeeding. Just because Instagram's winning, that should be Instagram winning. Like Instagram should be winning. Way more people use Instagram, so Snapchat doesn't have to beat Instagram. Like Facebook's the one with a $400+ billion valuation. Snapchat's got what, a $20 billion valuation? About a $20 billion valuation. Facebook needs to win everything to keep that type of valuation up, guys. So if Facebook all of a sudden got beat by Snapchat, then you got to really worry about Facebook in a big way, guys, because there are two very different valuations on those companies, guys. And not a lot of people look into the real numbers, and it goes to the fake news stuff, and just people put whatever the hell they want out there, and no one looks into the story. Anyways, I don't even want to go off on that. AMD caught my attention this week, so I like to pay attention to NVIDIA and AMD just because their stocks have done so well, and I'm not invested in any of them. There's a lot of things in their business that I don't understand, but AMD, they're saying AMD will take server market share from Intel with EPYC, this new product that AMD came out. It's just a matter of how much. So very interesting stuff there from AMD. I don't really have a strong opinion because my thing is, I don't know, what does that mean? They might take market share from Intel. Does that mean they're going to take $10 million a year of market share, $100 million, $1 billion? That's the reason I can't really invest in NVIDIA. In NVIDIA, I understand more than AMD, right? But I can't invest really in either one of those just because there's parts of their business I'm just like, how much does this mean? How big is this impact? Is this going to impact them? And sometimes you just don't understand a business very well, and you just don't invest in it because you might not understand it. There's a lot of companies I probably invest in that people are like, I don't really understand, where they're going to get customers from or how they're going to get this person or that person. And I understand it because I have an insight, but anyways, interesting. I like paying attention to AMD because that stock has just done phenomenal the past year or two. Love paying attention to NVIDIA. Big things those companies are doing. Cool stuff that hopefully will, help out humanity and whatnot. Now, as far as next week, what do we have going on? Darden is reporting numbers. Darden owns tons of big brands like Olive Garden, Yard House, Red Lobster, a lot of those big brands. We have KB Homes reporting numbers. Home builders should be a phenomenal year for all of them. And maybe even next year, we'll just have to see. Nike's reporting numbers. Nike, a lot of people, that's one of those stocks right now that a lot of people are like, you got to get in this now before, it goes up a bunch. And a lot of people are like, no, this one's going to drop a lot. It's a battleground stock right now. A lot of people are very bearish on the stock. A lot of people are very bullish. It's a battleground stock right now, Nike. We have General Mills reporting numbers, and they've disappointed many times. And then we have Micron reporting numbers, ticker symbol MU. One of my close friends is actually invested heavily in Micron. It's their #1 investment, I believe. I think they even have margin money on it. And I'm like, dude, don't mess with margin. You know what happened to me with margin. Don't be messing with that. But anyways, I'll be rooting for them. They come out with numbers Thursday because I want to see him make money. So anyways, that's what we have going on this week, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. My book is linked in the description. If you just came across this channel, you may want to subscribe. We talk personal finance on the channel. We talk entrepreneurship on the channel. We talk stock market every single day almost. This outro is horrible. I'm not even going to redo it. I just want to leave this in because it's absolutely embarrassing. Thank you for watching, guys, and have a great day.